everyone, Jester Bell is back and welcome to 2021. That's pretty foreboding. That's a pretty foreboding introduction. So I'm back after a long hiatus of Christmas. And yes, remember last time I said that I had another short film video in production? It is in production. It has been delayed a little bit because of the holidays and because of all the turmoil that's going on right now. So I apologize for that. But bear with me. I am working on it right now. Pre-production's almost finished. I'm gonna go to filming pretty soon on that. So yeah, keep watching the channel for updates very soon. I also did promise that there would be some other videos talking about various things that interest me in between the various short films. And yeah, I have a video today about something related to comics. I know I said I was done with comics, and I largely am, but you know, there's one character that keeps me coming back and talking to about it, and it's Harley again. So, what I wanted to just give an update for what's going on with her character is she's got a new writer in comics right now. Her name is Stephanie Phillips, and at the end of 2020, I was feeling like completely down on what was going on with the character. You know, the Birds of Prey movie bombed, but the comics are still bad, and there's just so much stuff that the character's just been lost from what she was. But all of a sudden it's almost like I'm starting to see some things that are kind of piquing my interest again and make me go, oh, maybe they are making some improvements. So on to Stephanie Phillips. So the first improvement that we're seeing DC make with her is they're changing her outfit again, and she's been wearing this really slutty, really awful looking corset and butt shorts and these really ugly socks, thigh high socks, and it's been a really horrible look, and it has not looked like the character other than keeping the same color scheme. Largely, except for it keeps using the pink and blue hair clash with the red and black, which I hate. But now they have a new outfit for her in this new comic series she's going to be having. It's a kind of a black and white cami suit, and it's got like black and red ribbons in her hair, and it still has the pink and blue clash colors, which I hate. Hopefully that'll go away closer to James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, which is going to have her all red and black again. But I saw the outfit, and I think that there are objectively flaws with it. I think that again, a cami suit, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It's kind of like a tank top and then pants that are cut off at the thigh, not the thigh. It cut off just above the calf area, and it's a little bit strange, but I look at it and this is a much closer to what how the character is spiritually supposed to be than anything else we've seen. It's a little bit similar to the Jester suit, but it's overall just kind of a cute look. It looks like they're going for cute with her rather than, you know, slutty or trashy, and that it just really, opened my eyes. Like, wow, I can actually look at her on a comic cover and not wince anymore. I can actually go, oh, it's not the Jester suit. I'm not as attached to that as other people are, but I go, oh, it actually looks like she's supposed to for the most part. It actually looks, I can look at it and go, oh, that's Harley. So that's one thing. Another thing is they're taking her closer to Gotham again, and that's the thing in comics. She has been apart from Gotham and just on the Suicide Squad or everywhere else other than Batman comics for like the last 10 years. But she's finally coming back into the Batman fold. And there's a catch to that, and I'll get to that. But I just love that she's back where she's supposed to be, not everywhere else in the DC universe. And I love that she's not on the Suicide Squad anymore. She's never worked on the Suicide Squad. I never thought I'd see her be off of that team. But she finally is, and it's surprising since there's a movie coming out later this year where she's on the Suicide Squad, but their comic series doesn't have her there. And it also shows DC is finally scaling back on her appearances in comics. It used to be that she'd have 4 of her own series, and not including her appearance everywhere in the DC universe. Now she only has 1 series that's coming out, along with supporting appearances in just Batman comics, just from what I'm seeing right now. So, and I know that DC is scaling back in general as part of that, but it really seems that they're just, whatever the circumstances, especially her not being on the Suicide Squad, that is a huge deal. That maybe they're finally opening up and just say, okay, cut back on the appearances. We don't have to shove this character in everything. And then as for Stephanie Phillips, we've gotten just 1 issue, and maybe it's too early to tell. We've gotten 1 issue for Future State. And again, it's not perfect writing for the character, and it's not brilliant writing either, but I was really worried it was going to be a reskin of Girl Deadpool. But aside from just having, in this future state, she has a really bad design. Aside from looking like it, she's got more of a similar voice to what Arlene Sorkin was going for, and Paul Dini, and various people who've written her in comics. You know, more of a grounded voice with a little inflection here and there to indicate an accent, rather than, if you've been reading comics, just complete garbled mess of dialogue to try to convey that just how annoying her voice is. They're not doing that. It actually sounds like you can project her regular voice onto the character again. And they're going back into, you know, remembering that she is supposed to be a psychiatrist. That's something that they've kind of completely forgotten, I think. Some comics just are so intent on how stupid and silly internet humor the character is, they forget that she's a psychiatrist. So we see her using that more. Now, again, Future State, I probably wouldn't recommend the comic regardless. I'm kind of just reviewing it on how the character's characterized, how her personality is. It wasn't a good comic. Again, not necessarily good writing, just more in character. My main problem with it is that it just seemed like they're still overpowering the character too much. It's good that we're not doing it like physical over empowering the character like they did making in Heroes in Crisis, making her beat everyone up, but maybe just making they again, they use her psychiatrist side again, and they just make her way too smart, smarter than Jonathan Crane, and I don't that doesn't work. They're just trying too much to make the character seem cool and awesome and all that. And this is a character that I will never stop saying started out to be very interesting because of her vulnerabilities and her flaws, not because she was so awesome at everything. So yeah, and so as again, she has come back to the Batman comics, and this is the downside. They're still doubling down on the she's a hero, she's a reformed hero, she's independent now. They're still doubling down on that angle. It's frustrating, and they've kind of been all over the place over the years, to be honest, on that. Ever since, you know, the mid to 2010s, they've just fractured the character, and you can never trust what she's going to be in one comic to another. Now, though, even Stephanie Phillips, every interview I read with her, though, it just sounds like it doesn't make me angry like the original people like Jimmy Palmiotti and Sam Humphries. They would make me angry just to read what they were doing with the character. But Stephanie Phillips does not make me angry. She sounds like, even if she's not a brilliant writer, she sounds like she cares about what she's doing and that she's trying to make a good version of the character. And from what I've read, she sounds like she's at least inspired by different versions of the characters, and perhaps taking some from the classic one that people like and some from the modern one, and maybe trying to make more of a compromise. Even with the hero angle, I just read an interview from her. Even though I hate that, she says that she's still trying to balance the character out, and you'd admit that no, Harley's not a completely good person. She's giving her a bad side and a good side that they want her to explore right now. And I understand that some of this stuff is editorial pushing this on her, saying that, oh, Harley has to be a hero now. I understand that that's a lot of this editorial, but she really looks like she's trying to have a compromise with what the character is now, and have more, and she has more of a voice of what the character is supposed to be. So I think that, while, again, this is not a complete return to classic Harley like I would like, but it's definitely a lot of steps. I'm seeing a lot of steps in the right direction right now, and I think that a lot of that is because of how much DC Comics has cut down on who's there and which writers are working on the characters, and that means, I think that means that we can continue to get good steps in the right direction. I don't think that this hero angle can last, because people see her on Batman's team now and they just go, that's completely not right. It's like trying to push her on the Justice League, which they tried. It's just completely not right, and you can push it as much as you want. If you push it enough, that doesn't mean it's going to stick. It means you might end up pushing people away, and she's already annoyed people with the hero angle pushing her in Batman. More people are not liking the character if you try to get her to work with Batman. That's just not going to happen. But yeah, I wanted to give an update on that. Again, it's not that we've just got a brilliant story going on. It's not that classic Harley has returned in all her glory. It's that I'm starting to finally see some steps in the right direction in comics. Now, is it too late for them? Maybe, but I wanted to just bring that up. And again, I'm not fully back on with comics. I'm just kind of following here and there if I'm interested in what's happening. I'm not really I'm not really invested in comics anymore, and we'll see what that happens with. But I'll continue. I'll come back with this if I see anything else that I want to say something about. So thank you for listening to my thoughts on this. And are you like me where you've tuned out of comics? Did you pick up Future State at all, or are you just done with that as an form of entertainment and you're all into streaming now? Let me know in the comments below, and I will have some more reviews and some more short films later this year. Thank you, and please like and subscribe for more of that.